The Quench, where you ask, we answer.
And we are back. Now, before we went on our break, we agreed that our past does affect our future. We also agreed how we react to our past affecting our future is all based on us. So I am bringing another argument to the table. You have no control over your future. Your past will affect your future, but you can't manipulate it unless you're dealing with today's present, okay? Now, before we actually get to that, I want us to actually give examples of some of the excuses. He mentioned something about excuses. Some of the excuses that people give about their past to excuse themselves from certain behaviors. I'll go first. I have a friend. Yes, I'll go first. I have a friend who says, I come from a humble background. So for that reason, you're not supposed to talk to me like that because you don't know the things I went through. Please talk to them like that. Okay, but our panelists would advise us there. So give me those examples. Let's hear them. What are some of these examples? Yes, Sylvester. Let's get the microphone to Sylvester.
So I have a friend as well who happens to hail from a rich background. And then this friend of mine decided not to work hard in school because there is something his parents had in store for him. And then all of a sudden his parents, it's too sad, they died. And then there he is. He's not focused in education. And the money that was saved by his parents got used in medication purposes. And there he is, uneducated, and he has no future. So if he had made the right choice to study hard when the resources were available, he would not be studying a chance to live a poor life. He would have continued what his parents had already started. But here he is, poor because of making a negative choice out of the perspectives that his parents provided. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's not just the poor people whose future is being affected. Sylvester's friend is rich, and then they decided, I am not going to struggle because I am rich. I am not going to make something of myself because I am rich. Let's get those excuses. And it's okay even though it's not your friend, even though it's you. Tell us those excuses you make as we move on.
It's Joseph here again. So let me say, there's a scholar who once said that the difference between mediocrity and excellency is a matter of effort.
Yeah.
So for you to change your situation, basically what matters is the input that you as an individual in particular, the input that you are giving to it for you to accrue the change that you want, maybe for it to be maybe implicated in the future, in the near future. So basically, let me say, at any given moment, the moment you want to change something, then that thing must be intuitive and it must come within you. So if you want to define your future, then it will be basically displayed by the effort that you are giving into it. Okay. I don't want to use this example, but let me use it.
Please use that example. That one is one we want. That's one. Yes, use that example.
But okay, it's just the example that we've been using. The difference between those who come from humble backgrounds and the rich backgrounds. So you find that sometimes, okay, even in schools and in the education maybe sector, you find that someone who is from an humble background, these people, okay, I don't know whether it's true. I don't want to sound maybe biased.
Don't come from there.
But I suppose anyone from a humble background and those who know what it takes and what actually they have gone through that pain of being humbled. So you find that they always go an extra mile if you compare them to someone. Okay, I don't want to be biased.
Just be biased.
For someone who is from maybe a rich background. But sometimes even those from the other side as well, they try to know that, okay, this life is about the choices that we make. So if I want to make my future, then I don't have to be dependent on what my parents are offering, but it's me personally. How do I want my future to be? So I'll work on my part. Okay. But let me say it's all a matter of the effort that you are putting into it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Nice. I'll pass it to her because I love what you said. He said your value as a person is accrued because of everything that you do as an individual. Now, before you actually get to whether you are poor or you are rich, your value as a person starts with you as an individual. Yes.
Esther. So for me, like, I'll just use like my personal experience. For me, it's like having like those toxic relationships. Unajonga wale watu wenye calling unajua ni bad decisions. Like,
and you still pick.
Like those people who are just toxic, like msana could drain. So unapata like kila time uko like by the way, I have to change my cycle, my circle of friends. Then unakumbuka ule msenye unataka kutafuta mabeshe zingine, then unakumbuka ule msenye anakokolea like kwa na shida, like umse akom true. As much as like Christianly, like spiritually ata could drain, like unapata like una make bad decisions, but unakumbuka umse bad like umse ako true. So like yeah, like you kwa na hours when you're true and then they are toxic. Yeah. Excuse.
I want to restructure your point. When we were talking about how your past affects your future, right? Some of us, we are clinging. I say this with love, you're not clinging. Some of us hold on to toxic things because in our past, we have been taught to hold on to those things. Okay? You don't want to let go when things are toxic. I'm not saying that's what's happening. But you don't want to let go because your past does actually affect your future. So when you're thinking of examples, give me such kind of examples. See your hand up again.
For me, I have a friend kwa campus journey. At some point, she got pregnant, but Ali decided that she won't make the excuse that just because nilipata certificate ya life kwanza before I get certificate ya yani the degree.
I like the structuring. What's matter? Yes.
So aka decide ata make excuse that ata rudi shule, and she's graduating this year.
Nice.
December. So hapo hivyo what we're supposed to learn, there are some people just because amepata certificate ya life ana make you ikwe excuse ni hapo sasa life ita stopia. That's the wanna make hapo ikwe the end of life, but that's an excuse that most of the youth wanna make ikwe excuse.
That is a very big excuse. That is a very nice example. As you pass the microphone to that side, a very nice example. We go through life experiences and then we decide, because I went through this, if anyone ever asks me why I didn't finish school, if anyone ever asks me why I don't make that what I want to make, I'll always say, it's because nilipata certificate ya life before nilipata certificate ya shule.
I'll give this example. It's a personal example. So for me, I've been raised as a single mother. And most of the time, the single mothers will tell you that we don't believe in love because you were there and nothing happened. What we got negative results. Right. So please, this love thing is not for you.
Don't be cheated.
So you cling onto it, and at a love you could after, you're just like, no.
Love in after, okay. For living good lives.
Okay, I'm using that. Okay. You're just like, no, this love thing is not for me. Marriage is not for me. It's a scam.
It's a scam.
So I think there are good men out here with
She's like, I think there are good men out here.
Who are raised well. So I don't think if this love thing, I think it's not a scam.
It's not a scam.
It's not a scam.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had Nelly laugh. She's going to tell us it's a scam. She's going to tell us. Please give us yours and then his, and then we'll call it around.
So the one excuse I've had from many is that life begins at 40. Life begins at 40. So you can do whatever you want to do until 40, then you will start living. So that is one of the excuses I've had from majority of my age groups. Life begins at 40. Mess up, do whatever you'll do. At 40, you'll be serious with life and you'll begin with it.
People are saying life begins at 40. So you have 20 years to try and error.
Yeah.
Wow, that is unique.
Okay, I'm Sandra. I'm a poet. And some of my friends in high school, not right now, were affected by childhood traumas. People mistreating them. Maybe they lived with their uncles and then they mistreated them. Right now, they're expecting their friends to treat them like gods. As in, you're not supposed to ofai kumwambia hivi because ana relate na chenye aliambiwa akiwa mdogo. And then I'm expecting you to move, okay, not to move on, but to try your best and let your past stay in the past, even if it's affecting you. Yes, you'll not be quick to trust, but don't affect everybody around you.
Oh, okay, nice. So she talked about something like trauma, yeah? Because you get some sort of behaviors from people. So when someone you love treats you like that, it registers differently. So I want you to talk about that. I want to ask this poor question, and I want us to answer unanimously. You people have never had people give you excuses that, why are you violent? Because I am Kikuyu. I am a Kikuyu. Is that just an excuse?
Mainstreaming.
You didn't have that, you didn't choose to become a Kikuyu woman. It is your past. And from now onwards, you will be loud, violent. And if I'm describing myself, don't look at me badly. And if anyone asks you why, you say it's because I am Kikuyu. When people ask you, why do you treat people the way you treat people? I am Kamba or I am a man. Such excuses are actually very common. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever met people that won't cook because they're what?
Last bones.
Please clap. I'm sorry to the last bones in the team. But that is an excuse. Did you have a say in being a last born? It just happened that is your life. You are last born. So now you're using it as an excuse. Now we could make fun all we want, but these are actually big things that are actually happening outside there. And I want you to start with you, Nelly. When it comes to the traumas we have faced because of love, the traumas we have faced because of death, that is not something we have said. Death, it's a big deal. Sindio, you have someone you love close to you pass away, and you react to it in a certain way. How do we deal with those traumas? Because we have agreed your past must affect your future. How is up to you, Sindio. So how do you ensure that the how is positive?
Okay, so I would like to say that the matter of trauma, I'll leave it to my colleague. Okay. And I want to talk about something else. It's like you were reading my mind while I was trying to listen to your excuses, although it's kind of different, but it relates.
Yes.
We have women here. I am a woman. We have women here, right? Why didn't we think outside the box? We've always used the gender excuse.
We have always used the gender
I was actually looking forward to who will say it, but none. So I have to say
always used the
she
gender.
read my mind a bit, but now she brought out about tribes, right? That's what we call mainstreaming. In women now, we use the gender card a lot. We tend to give excuses wherever we are because of us being women, right? Take, for example, now in this situation or in your groups, your university students, most of you, right? When you get to the campus politics, there's an office specific for gender, right? Yes. For gender secretary for the student union. Yeah. Why do we have that office? Just try to think outside the box.
And who
because
buys
for a long time, we've always had that excuse, gender. We tend to use the gender card a lot. So if you have to be given a certain post for you to be recognized, then it doesn't sit right. Take it to our Kenyan politics. Nimeanza na you guys because most of you are students. So we don't really need to have a specific role for us or a specific post for us so that we are not recognized, so that we are not heard. If now for a long time in our universities at your context now, we didn't have this gender offices kwa hizo student unions. They are just things that have been formed even lately, of late. So we now in trying to solve that. Now for a long time we've not had women take up leadership spaces. But how do we now? Well, to an extent, it's changing a bit because we now have, and I'm going to relate it again with Kenyan politics kidogo because, okay, I'm a politician, I just lazima tu nilete. So okay. When you try to get to our Kenyan politics, we have the women rep seats, sindio? Did we really have to? Yes, it was an affirmative action to try and recognize the female gender in order to meet the constitutional threshold, 2/3 in our politics, right? It is not a bad thing, but that didn't stop there. That didn't mean now that women should not take up spaces of leadership. I've connected it because it kind of relates to campus politics as well. There's leadership in that. And there's a topic we are also going to discuss about leadership development. So I'm really trying to relate and try to open your mind so that you're not caged in your thinking. You try and always think outside the box. I mean, we always have these examples you people were giving, but you also try and tend to look at it from outside the box and how it's affecting yourselves, more so the women. We tend to say that women are the most affected in our societies, but when you're given a chance to do so, then you say, I'm a woman. This is not for me. Our woman. Tunajuanga the leadership spaces are for men. Until you're now given, this post is for women. You want to take up. So she was asking me, how do you react now? And I'm now going to now speak in the issue of leadership. Most of you are in organizations, are in groups that are having leadership, right? So do you think you really need a certain post for you so that you're able to come out as a leader? Do you really need it? No. So in one way you have to react is you have to come out. Offer yourself to take up a leadership space so that people can be able to listen to you. They can be able to also learn from you. That's my point.
No, okay, nice. She said stand out, yes? Yeah, okay, I would rephrase it and say, come out of that thing that is your excuse, okay? If you're using being a woman as an excuse, come out of being a woman. Be a person like every other person, gender away, okay? If you're using, I am an orphan, and I say this with love, come out of that and act like everyone else and stand to be counted away from that thing that is your excuse, okay? On the issue of trauma, we have traumatic incidences that happened in our lives, including being raised in a humble background. That is traumatic, single. Including having someone pass away, including drugs and like the example she gave. Yeah. How do you deal with coming out from that trauma?
Okay. I think I'll give an example. I'll answer this by starting to give an example of my personal life. I lost my mom at the age of 5. And for sure, I don't even remember my mom's voice or anything, any interaction with her. And for the longest time, 23 years to be precise, I used to have that bitterness towards my mom. Because I would ask myself, why did you die? Why did you have to leave me? I happened to be her last born. Why did you leave me that young? And when they talked about the last borns, why do you have to leave me that young? I'm given stories of how she used to talk about it. In fact, at some point I hear, the worst of it all was that I hear that she used to know she was about to die. And she would tell my dad, I'm about to die, I'm leaving you with this. There's one of my other brother who is 3 years older than me. So that in itself was breaking me. Because I used to feel it was unfair for her to have left me this young. And for a very long time, it affected me in my primary school, my high school life, even up to the university. And I had to deal with that to the point that I had to go through counseling. And I had to go, for me to believe that she died, I had to go back, I think 23 years later, figuratively pick soil as if I'm burying her, for me to believe that she died and she left me. It's only then that I had to overcome that. And these things sometimes are we take them easy, but you may think someone is just being nagging and everything, but the trauma is real. So the first thing is to identify the cause of that trauma. Why are you experiencing that traumatic event? What is that thing that led you to that trauma, and how can you deal with it? Because if you identify there is a problem, then you're likely to get a solution. So it has to happen, you be real with yourself, that I'm experiencing a problem, then seek help, and that way you'll be able to overcome it. Then allow me to mention something about the value. You talked about the value that we place on ourselves. It's very, very important to know that you're valuable, and your value is beyond how you are defined. And if I can do a quick demo with me here, please assist me with a piece of paper. What is this thing made of?
I'm starting to feel hot. Money. Money is in my presence, yes. The biggest denomination, yes.
Yes, thank you. Are these two papers? Can we agree that the material is a paper?
I don't know if I should answer.
Yes? So which one would you pick? This one. So I need to throw this away, eh? So why would you pick this?
Value.
It has value, eh? What is the value of this? 1,000. Okay. If I fold it twice? See your punch? Okay, na nikikunja hivi? Na je nikikunja hivi fogodhari? Ikiwa hapa kwa floor? Nikikanyaga hivi? Bado ni dhao, si ndio? So what is one common thing about this piece of paper?
It's value.
Yes?
Yeah.
The value does not do what?
Change.
It doesn't change. Regardless of the situations that I subject it to. Unaelewa? I want you to take yourselves as this piece of paper in the name of 1,000. And know that no matter what you have gone through, either in the past, either at the present, or even whatever you may have to go through, your value doesn't change because of the situations you are going through. Your past might have been the worst. Your past might have been the most difficult, but you are still valuable. If you forget everything else today we are talking about, don't forget that you have value, and it is not determined by the conditions you're subjected through by life.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's just clap to that. That was wonderful. I was starting to feel hot when he stepped on the money. I was about, just give it to me. I'll show you. If you don't want to see it, I'll hide it for you. But by the end of the day, we have a few things we can conclude. Number one, your past does affect your future. But it is all dependent on how you deal with it. Academics, your lifestyle, your working style, your eating style, your excuses, and even your Christian life. It doesn't matter what happened back then. It will affect you today. It will affect your decisions. To every action, there's a reaction. Nelly said, stand out of that excuse, okay? Your excuse is, I'm a girl, so I will not push the lorry when it stops. Talk Apple, go push it, and push with all of your might, okay? Give it your all. And he also said, the traumas are there, okay? They are there. It is those things, those bad things that happened to you, then it was not your fault. You didn't have anything to do with it. You will suffer the trauma, but get yourself from that trauma, okay? Identify you have a trauma and do something about it. Don't be those people that will always give it an excuse. Okay, why do you talk the way you talk? Why do you do the things you? Because in 2012, someone said this to me, and from that day I decided nitakuwa na shema. You know, such. People have weird excuses out here. So whatever your excuse is, stop. Today, stop. Stop using your past as an excuse. Yes, it affects your future. We all have a past that has affected our future, but how you react to it is what matters. And lastly, you're valuable. Okay? Say it with me. Say, you're valuable.
You're valuable.
And with that, we culminate the Quench today. My name is Wangeshika Remy, and this is MBCI TV.
The Quench, where you ask, we answer.